Hey everybody, it's the coach. This is preseason football on EA Sports. Coming up, we'll see third-year quarterback Deshaun Watson and the Houston Texans as they take on Dak Prescott and the defending NFC East champs, the Dallas Cowboys. With that, let's get on over to AT&T Stadium in Arlington for the call from Jerry World. Here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
We are sandwiched between Fort Worth and Dallas, Texas, and Arlington at the luxurious AT&T Stadium. A moment ago, here was the scene with the Cowboys emerging from their tunnel. It was loud. It's still loud. We're ready for football as the Cowboys get set to match up with the Houston Texans. Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis with you, and now we sit, CD, at week 3 of the preseason, and this is the one that the coaches probably think is pretty valuable, right?
Certainly. This is the dress rehearsal. This is the one where your starters are going to play. You might even game plan a little bit more than you do with a normal preseason game, and then you've got to decide, do you bring them back after halftime and get them going again in the third quarter so they're ready to go when the regular season begins? I'm eager to see how these coaches will handle that.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Deshaun Watson ready to lead the Texans offense, coming off a great turnaround season in 2018. Remember, 2 years ago, he missed much of his rookie campaign with a knee injury, but he led the Texans to an 11-5 record and an AFC South title last year.
Break this set. team. Got to do better. Come on, QB, come on.
Now a first-time Pro Bowler from a year ago, Lamar Miller. Give him 3 there on the first play of the game, and it's second down. And let's take a look at the Texans offense.
Have no idea what they're putting in the food in the Martin household, but they've developed 2 terrific offensive linemen. Brother Zach, a perennial all-pro at guard with the Dallas Cowboys, but Nick, no slouch at center for the Houston Texans. He sets the tone for their offensive line. He's the pivot up front.
On 2nd and 7, Watson. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down. And a look at the defense for the Cowboys.
And there's linebacker Leighton Vander Esch, who was so impressive as a rookie in 2018. Many thought Dallas should have opted to pick a wide receiver at that spot. Turns out they made the absolute correct choice. A 2018 Pro Bowler who's only going to get better.
A tough spot here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 7. Here's Watson. And he's got the completion to Hopkins. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A big 3rd down pickup of 20 yards. These 2 teams in the battle for the Lone Star State met last year as well. That was a good one. Went to overtime in Houston, 19-16. The Texans would win it on a Kaimi Fairbairn field goal. A first down carry now for Miller. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
A quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers putting up their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the 2nd and the 3rd level.
Now on 2nd and 13, Watson throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. They were searching for the tight end, Darren Fells, and it's 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Now it's Watson. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Anthony Brown. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. Now the Cowboys offense heads back onto the field. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They'll run it now. This is Charkandrick West. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
Now a quick slant as the throw's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. They'll run on first down. It's West. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. And now it looks like we've got a Cowboy shaken up down there on the field. Definitely the last thing you want to see here in a preseason game. We'll be right back. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Out of the gun, here's Prescott. And he hits Jason Witten, the tight end. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on second down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives him a much better opportunity to convert on third down.
Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. You know, last week I remember asking you, what would an offensive coordinator be looking for week 2 of the preseason? Now we're in week 3. Defensive coordinator-wise, what's he looking at?
For the most part in preseason, you're playing pretty basic stuff, pretty vanilla defenses. You're looking for guys that play with abandon, that just go out and make plays and kind of let their athletic ability take over in order for you to notice them.
Of course, the door for Maher was opened after a little bit of a surprise move. The Cowboys letting go of Dan Bailey last year.
Yeah, Maher took over in the preseason. He's from Nebraska via the Canadian Football League where he kicked for 4 years. And I saw him personally make 2 game-winning field goals last season against Detroit and in Atlanta.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Set to take over again, Deshaun Watson and this Texans offense. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense.
Jalen Smith, the Notre Dame man, in on the tackle. Well, they have the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10.
Here we go.
Watson now to throw. And this one grabbed by Darren Fells. And they're able to get this one across the 35. That's good for a Texan first down, a 12-yard pickup. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Watson with a give to Miller. And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half, maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
It's easy to see when we review this that the ball needs to come out quicker because if you don't throw it right on the break, you bring a crowd of people into the equation.
And that's why it got knocked away there. And this will be caught at the 30. That goes for a gain of 31.
That was an excellent read right there. Saw cover one. That means it's just a single high safety. So you know if you throw the ball to the outside part of the field, help is going to be a little bit late getting there. And he puts one out there for a big-time completion.
So the big play has them all the way down to the 30 now for 1st and 10. They go back to the ground now with Miller. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
That loss of 3, a rare stumble on a promising drive. Here's 2nd and 13. From the gun, here's Watson. He's letting this one go for Fuller. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. Will Fuller was the intended target, but now it's 3rd down. 7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. Here's Watson. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. And he's going to have another 1st down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys 16. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a 1st down.
On 1st down, it's Miller. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
So not quite a 1st and goal just yet as they come up now 2nd and inches. Watson. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. From 6 yards away. And the Texans have taken the lead. Bouncing back nicely from that bad opening drive where he threw the interception. Drive number 2 leads him right down the field and into the end zone.
So obviously his confidence was never lost, and that's a good thing to see. Great quality to have, and you absolutely must maintain that as a quarterback. But I have to think that they're probably still on the script that they prepared for this game. Just the 2nd drive. They've worked on these plays all week in practice. Put them to good use on that one.
And this is no good. He missed it. Not a good start here in the kicking department as this remains a 6-3 score. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. This one fielded at the 5. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Here's the Dallas offense now heading back out onto the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted, and we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. So Prescott of the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10, just shy of the 30. They begin here with a run by West, and he'll get about 4 across the 30 to the 32. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Prescott from the gun. And this is caught by Witten, the tight end. And he's going to come up a few yards short of the first. They get him to the ground at the 37. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a 1st down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. So on 4th down, here's Chris Jones to punt it away. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. And now out comes Houston. They'll start out on the ground. It's Lamar Miller. And he's going to lose yardage here. Back to his own 18. Defensively, it was Leighton Vander Esch up from his linebacker spot.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. To throw is Watson. He's got his tight end. It's Fells. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Now Watson. And that will be incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed, if there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. 4th down, so the Texans dial up the number of their 2nd-year punter, Trevor Daniel. Back deep for the Cowboys, Tavon Austin. Fielded just inside the 30. It's a 45-yard punt, then 8 on the return. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. And out now come the Cowboys. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a 1st down now. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They start on the ground with West. And hard running's going to get him over the 40 to the 42. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down. Second and 5 now. Prescott got an open man. It's Michael Gallup. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. 7 yards there and a 1st down. They'll run on 1st down. West. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
Plays like we just saw there. That's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
3 bucks, 3 bucks, 3 bucks.
On 2nd and 12, Prescott into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Bernardrick McKinney, the linebacker, picks it, and he'll return this ball across midfield to the 47-yard line. They told us repeatedly earlier in the week in our meetings, we need some plays from our defense here on the road early. They got one.
And don't think they were above all week long pointing out to their defense that the other defense is rated higher than them. You going to let that happen, guys? Is that how we're going to play? And they responded to the challenge.
On first down, it's Miller. He'll get only a couple down to the 44.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up, because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen.
Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. A big pickup of 38.
I don't think we'll ever get enough of watching one-handed catches, and when they pay off, they are spectacular. But how about the times they don't pay off and coaches go, two hands still works.
I know, but they go for them so often now that I'm almost starting to take them for granted.
Yeah, that's unbelievable, isn't it? Because these are sensational type plays.
Especially that one with the defender right there.
They'll try and run for it with Miller. And he goes backwards on this one, losing yardage to the 7. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's second down.
Bear in mind, that wasn't a big lineman back there for the tackle for loss. That was a cornerback.
So are you saying the myth has been shattered? That all of them are not just cover corners? Some of them actually will stick their nose in and tackle when necessary? That's what we just saw, isn't it?
Now from the 7, here's 2nd and goal. Back to throw, Watson, and it's caught. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. 2 first-quarter touchdown passes now for Deshaun Watson. And the Texans push further out in front.
A good tight end is a heck of a weapon for any quarterback, especially when you're able to create some mismatches. Sometimes they work against a linebacker. Sometimes they work against a smaller defensive back. But when they find it, they go to it, and it often results in touchdowns.
Fairbairn now to add the extra point. And he atones for his miss the first time around, as this one is up and good to extend their lead. So that drive, 4 plays, and it results in the Texans finding the end zone. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. This will be fielded at the 6. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. So out come the Cowboys now as their offense gets set to take over. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious, because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down. From the 31, Prescott caught by Cobb. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. That one a first down pickup of 8. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield. I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. An update from a game going on in Indianapolis. It's the Colts in that one that have grabbed the early lead. And we'll keep an eye on that one as our game goes along here. Now on 2nd and 13. Prescott. He's going to find Gallup here complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Give him 15 there, and the Cowboys have a first. With Cole Beasley now in Buffalo, you'd think that might open up some more targets for Michael Gallup. Last year as a rookie, 33 catches for the Dallas Cowboys. They'll run on first down. It's West. And boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10. From the shotgun, it's Prescott. And he'll hit the slant route. That's caught by Cooper.
In today's football, where receivers break tackles, make people miss, get upfield for the extra yardage, when you see a play like that where it's caught and he's dropped on the spot, that's a big-time play by the defense.
And he gets it to the 32, good enough for a first down. A gain of 8 on the keeper and a first down.
And this is one of those plays that if you can use it to keep the chains moving, it's a good play. And not only that, it tends to tamp down the pass rushers because they have to recognize this play and stay at home. The quarterback uses it well. Read option, keeps it, and picks up a first down with some nice running.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll run it with West. He'll get the first down and more inside the 20. Touchdown, Cowboys! Charkandrick West, 32 yards. As they are now just an extra point away from making this a 3-point game.
Well, partner, that was another explosive run, and one thing I've learned in our time in this game, yes, the offensive line has to get a lot of credit, but for big runs to occur, the wide receivers have to block well downfield.
And then you have to have a good guy carrying the ball too, right?
Oh, without a doubt. You need that difference maker lugging the rock.
Extra point by Moore, up and good. And the lead down to 3 at 13-10. So that drive goes 8 plays. And it's West that finishes it off with a touchdown run. So just a 3-point game now as they send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Out comes a Houston offense as they get set to take over here. Touchdowns on back-to-back drives. So a very good flow right now offensively.
Hard to slow them down, too, because they are locked in. Feel like the offense coordinator's a little bit ahead of the defensive guys right now. They're beating them to the punch with their play calls. They've got a nice rhythm they're locked into. How can the defensive guys come up with something that'll disrupt that flow? That's what they're seeking right now.
Well, it's been an exciting sequence to watch.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up. A 3-yard
3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. A shotgun snap for Watson. No, he almost had it. Already with one interception, just missing his second there. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Looking to throw. Watson. He finds his target, Fuller.
Let's go. Let's do this.
We are in for a good one as we're through one on EA Sports. Watson now 9 of 16 through the air as he's got it 1st and 10. Watson going to give this one to Miller. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And that'll make it 2nd and 12.
Part of the thinking when you bring in extra tight ends, you're hoping that each of your guys gets those one-on-one blocks and creates a crease for your runner. You know what the converse is, though? You've got to win those one-on-one blocks. And when you don't, that's the result you end up with.
On 2nd and 12, Watson. Man open, that's Kiki QT complete. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. The catch and run going to wind up netting him 33 yards.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great. And what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big game. So from Cowboy territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 25-yard line. On 1st down, it's Miller. They'll be brought down at the 21 after a pickup of 4.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down, a very solid gain on that play.
Watch the screen.
To throw on 2nd and 6. Watson, open man, the tight end fails. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
The Texans on 3rd down. They've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. They'll try to run for it with Miller. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. They picked up 5 yards last time. Now they double it and get 10 here.
Just about every coach we talk to says the crowd shouldn't affect us. That shouldn't be an issue. And then the next breath they talk about taking the crowd and taking them out of the game by picking up 1st downs and keeping them at bay. I think we just saw an example of that there, didn't we?
Important to do, especially early in the game like they have.
Set. 19. Check. Watch 54. Get that quarterback.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And this has been a recurring theme tonight for sure. Nowhere to run. Back to the line of scrimmage, that's all. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal. They'll try again here from the 7 on 2nd and goal. Here's a 2nd and 7. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down. These offensive starters still out there in the second quarter. You would think the plans for them to at least play into the third quarter, if not all the way through it.
Yeah, it might go by feel. If they have a really good first drive to start the third quarter, they might pull them after that. If not, might leave them out there a little bit longer, but I'll guarantee this, they'll be gone by the start of the fourth quarter.
And they'll get him down here at about the 5-yard line. Give him a couple on the run there, and now they're in that in-between area here on 4th and goal.
How about the fellas with the stars on the side of their helmets rising up on defense? We always hear about the Cowboys' rushing offense. Their rush defense is pretty good as well, I think, because they're so cohesive. Defensive line, linebackers really work well together.
Fairbairn able to put this one through. And that extends their advantage to 6. It's 16-10.
No one attempted or made more field goals than Fairbairn last year. He was 37 of 42.
And they were grateful for every one of those that put 3 points on the board. But I'll guarantee you, Bill O'Brien, the head coach, is thinking to himself, we need to use him a lot less in 2019. Let's make sure we score some more touchdowns.
Fairbairn now following the made field goal. He'll send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And that last drive was very, very balanced, pretty methodical. You think they go that route again?
I'm always of the school that until they stop me from doing something, I'm going to continue. And I think that that's exactly what they'll look to do. But the beauty is the balance that they've created sets up opportunities for big plays. Looks like a run, turn into a play action, and throw one deep.
The drive begins with a handoff to West. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Prescott to throw it. Completes it to Jason Witten. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. Boy, you got to think that having the 37-year-old veteran Jason Witten back at tight end is going to be great for Dak Prescott for plays just like that. And you think to last year when Witten wasn't there, it was kind of a rotating carousel. They had Blake Jarwin, Jeff Swaim, Rico Gathers, Dalton Schultz. But Witten back out there and doing his thing again. 14 yards, good for a Cowboy first down.
Well, sometimes our pregame meetings do pay off, don't they? What do the guys in the locker room call him?
Well, they said it with a chuckle. They called him Old Reliable.
Yeah, that means he doesn't move quite as fast as he used to, but he still knows all the tricks, doesn't he? Even that little gentle push-off in order to get open, he finds a way to pick up a first down.
They'll run on first down. It's West. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it 2nd down.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
Play fake. Here's Prescott. Got his man there, complete to Gallup. Touchdown, Cowboys! Michael Gallup. 52 yards. And now they can recapture the lead if they can make the PAT.
As a fan, is there anything prettier than a well-executed post route?
No, it's a thing of beauty, especially when it's done like that for a touchdown.
The throw, the catch, and how about the run after to get it to the end zone?
Marr on for the extra point. And he's able to put it through. That time, 75-yard drive, 5 plays. And it's capped off with a Cowboys touchdown. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back onto the field. They find themselves trailing on the scoreboard, but it certainly hasn't been because of what they've been able to do at the receiver position.
And let's face it, partner, we've been around a lot of receivers. Has it ever been their fault when things aren't going well? We know how they operate, right? And right now what they're saying is, well, guess what? If we want to win, throw it to us even more. We're the ones making the plays.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Leighton Vander Esch wreaking havoc with a sack.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
So following the sack, they'll try to change their fortune here on 2nd and 13. Here's Watson. It's complete to Fuller. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down. And with that completion, he's now north of 200 yards here in the first half. Boy, a tough start for the secondary defensively.
It is, and it's got to put a dent in their confidence. And, you know, you always want to keep that up and feel like you can always bounce back after plays. But with the kind of numbers he's putting up here, it's starting to wear on them a little bit, I think. So they're looking at each other and trying to figure out what defense will work and how can they play better without getting beat deep for big passes.
Now Miller, he's had a big workload here tonight. And boy, he is very close to a 1st down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
So possession goes over here on the punt, and the Cowboys will take over here at the 20. Now Sharkandrick West heading back onto the field. A good job in the passing game, decent job in the running game, but really they've been more effective through the air. We'll see if that shifts at all as this goes on.
Thus far, it feels like they're calling this game in reverse. Normally you run to set up the pass. Here it feels like they're passing, hoping to set up the run and be more effective later on in the game.
And you can do it both ways. We usually talk about it in the reverse, however.
No doubt about it.
An opening there on that 1st down run as he gets this forward for about 8 or 9. That looks to be 8 officially, so 2nd and 2. Line of scrimmage, the 28 now as they come up on 2nd and a couple. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
Brandon, it looked like he had his hands on it for a moment, but let's face it, that was going to be a tough catch all the way because of the presence of the defense right there as he was trying to haul it in.
Yeah, nice job to force the incompletion. And he's able to get it to the 31, and that's enough for the 1st. It's a 1st down following a gain of 3.
Brandon, they're still in the lead, but momentum's certainly been going the opposite direction. So to me, that's a really important pickup there on 3rd down.
Try and regain some confidence, and you're right. They need to stem the tide a little bit. That certainly helped. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Here's West. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
J.J. Watt makes another tackle there, and it's for a minimal gain. And let's face it, if that's all you're going to get running the ball, you're not going to have much success against him and his team.
Or, yeah, you better find a way to go around J.J. Watt, which isn't easy to do.
It's really not because you got to try everything. Can you go around him? Can you go by him? Can you influence him to get him out of position so maybe you can wall him off? He's a really sharp, intelligent player as well as a physical specimen.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Give him 18 on that one, and it's a Dallas 1st down.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory at the 49-yard line. Now West. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down.
Yeah, that was a safety that came through and made the play, but there's no doubt in my mind he hits like a linebacker, and we see a lot of that in today's NFL, don't we?
And that time we do indeed a big hit for a loss. Now on 2nd and 13, Prescott. This little short throw to Witten. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
I know the halftime's approaching, but I don't think he's going to want to take a break. That's his 5th catch.
Yeah, they've really been targeting the tight end. The Cowboys on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. Out of the gun. Here's Prescott. He's got his targets. Come. And he's going to be taken down with another 1st down as the stop's made at the Texans' 30. Prescott now 13 out of 17 throwing the ball. He's got a 1st down. They run the counter. West. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12. Prescott now. And this one complete to Witten over the middle. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. 22 yards there, a 1st down.
And there's another completion to the tight end. And let's face it, it is hard to overthrow a 6'6" target.
It is indeed. Quarterbacks like their speed guys. They like that huge 6'6" target that they've got in him.
They really do, and it reminds me of what one great tight end told me once. He told his quarterback, just make sure you throw it up there, you know, kind of like put up on the top shelf where the kids can't get it.
Prescott now closing in on a 200-yard first half through the air. It's 1st and 10. This is West. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with a bandit.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. You think back to last year, Dak Prescott was sacked 56 times, 2nd most in the league behind Deshaun Watson of the Texans. The Cowboys on 3rd down. They've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. This will be 3rd and 5. On 3rd down, this is Jackson. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. A 6-yard touchdown run. And the Cowboys, they push out in front further. and they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how are we going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
Marr now to add the extra point. And with that, the lead is up to 8. So that one, a 13-play drive in total. And it's capped off by a touchdown run of 6 yards. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This one taken from the 7. And they'll have good starting field position as he's up just shy of the 40. And now out comes Houston. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. 10 yards there, good enough for a Texan first down. They held him in check in the first half, but that's his longest carry of the game right there.
So would this be the definition of fresh legs since he didn't get much done in the first half? Now he has a great opportunity. He's taking full advantage of it.
They keep it with Miller on first down. And this time he's not going anywhere. They'll get him down right at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. From the 50, it's Watson. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's third down.
He kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
And now the third down throw incomplete as well.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket.
Get ready, get ready, get ready.
Dak and the Cowboy offense heading back onto the field. He's got the lead here in the second quarter. He's thrown the touchdown, but also an interception. As a quarterback, does that interception, even though you're playing well, your team's got the lead, does that always stick in the back of your mind a little bit?
For the best ones, it just upsets them that they did that because they don't think there should be any blemishes on their record. They think that they're way better than that. So your confidence gets tested a little bit. Being able to go back out there, maybe throw another touchdown, that will tamp that down in a big way.
Yeah, because he's looked pretty good to this point. Now 2nd and 7 from the 23. Here's Prescott. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Tashawn Gibson, and his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth,
Yes,
and he's miles away and smiling.
And happy. That's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. Out of the gun, Watson. He's going to loft it deep right sideline. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. The turnover put them in great field position. They don't want to squander it with 3rd down coming up.
No, not at all. And you know what else you do? You make your defense mad.
Yeah.
They got you the football, gave you a great opportunity. You got to cash in and get some points.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
And for the 2nd time tonight, his field goal unit comes out here. This officially a 55-yard attempt. And he has got it from 55 yards away. That was never in doubt. The bottom line, tremendous starting field position, really squandered there as they wind up going backwards and then come up with just 3.
Well, getting the 3 turned out to be important. I can imagine the head coach when he ordered the field goal. Please salvage something out of this drive. That was not fun to watch.
Fairbairn now following the made field goal. He'll send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Dallas offense now heading back out onto the field. Still more than a minute to go, so there is time if they want to mount something here.
Not only time, but they have 3 timeouts at their disposal as well, so that changes everything that you're doing here. Without those timeouts, you can only work the sidelines, hoping to get out of bounds. Here, the middle of the field is still available because you can call timeout and regroup.
A nice run on 1st down gets him 6 yards to the 31. It's a 6-yard pickup, but it gets him to 2nd and 4. 6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. To throw is Prescott. He's got a man complete. It's Amari Cooper. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. Prescott now over 200 yards already in this first half. It's 1st and 10. On the draw, it's Pollard. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. A loss of 2 there, 2nd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
Now Prescott, room to run inside the 40. Throw right side, taken in by Gallup. The Cowboys going to use their 2nd timeout now, as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Prescott from the gun. Throwing. Right, and that's complete. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. And they'll burn the timeout with 5 seconds left. A chance to try to add 3 points before heading to the locker room. So even though it's 1st down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. It'll be from the right hash, and it'll be a 36-yarder. The kick by Marr is good. And the drive will wind up yielding 3. So a capper there to a pretty good first half.
And I love the way that they put a chokehold on the clock and pretty much drained everything before they put the field goal on the board as they headed into the half.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This will be fielded at the 6. We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game.
Okay, Brandon, thanks. This game, one of 7 going on in the NFL on this Saturday, the 3rd week of the preseason. One more to get to tomorrow night on Sunday Night Football. A good one in the AFC, Steelers and Titans from Nashville. In our game, expect to see the starters for at least one more drive, something to look forward to as we get you back out to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
This one fielded at the 5. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Out come the Cowboys now as they'll go on offense first here in this 3rd quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else. Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
On 1st and 10, Prescott. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
Pass on target, Prescott to Cooper. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30.
Press coverage on the outside, and for defenders, that's the ultimate risk-reward. If you take the risk, can you reward yourself by keeping them on the line of scrimmage? But no, not on that one. Got to step on them. Now it's just a matter of laying the ball out there for him to go get it.
So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory at the 32-yard line. On 1st down, it's West. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
Everything looked right on that play except the conclusion. He dropped it, an in route, going into a little bit of traffic. Maybe in the back of his mind, he was wondering where the hit was going to come from.
On 3rd down, it's Prescott. That's complete to Cobb. And he'll be brought down at the 28, and that is well short of the 1st. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
One of the money routes for any offense, the drag route. So tough to defend because the receiver can stop at any point and make himself available to the quarterback and get a completion. But I love the communication we saw there. All the defenders pointing out the receiver, where he was going, and then they're able to rally to the ball after the catch and stop him short of a 1st down.
So 3 field goals that he's hit now. This last one helps him stretch out the lead.
He's been solid, hasn't he? And he lives up to the adage that every offensive coach has ever said to us. We want to end every possession with a kick, right? For them, it's either extra point, field goal, or at worst, a punt. In this case, it's been 3s.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Texans offense now, readying for their first possession of the 2nd half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
Lamar Miller, and 3 yards there, takes him to the 45.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete. DeAndre Hopkins, once again, the intended target. And now it's 3rd down. From the gun, here's Watson. And tight coverage there. It's knocked away, incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Call that a 46-yard punt, though they did get 9 back on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Cowboys offense heading back out and ready to go again. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking, because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try and increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
On 2nd and 9, Prescott. And this is caught by Witten, the tight end. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
A 2-yard pickup brings up 3rd and 6. Let's get it.
Prescott from the gun on 3rd. And he's able to hook up with Michael Gallup. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. It's a gain of 16 and the Dallas 1st down.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit, because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. Prescott now nearing the 300-yard mark with still a quarter to play. It's 1st and 10, and he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard up to the 39.
They know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. It's a gain of 12, and the Cowboys pick up the 1st.
What a catch, and one-handed, and I'm starting to lose my awe about the play, and maybe I shouldn't. How much of this is the player? How much of it is the glove?
Well, those gloves, they do have a little grip to them,
They
don't
get that
they?
little extra tackiness to them now, and I know the guys in the NFL, the competition committee, some other places, they're talking about examining those gloves to see if they're having too much of an effect on the game.
They'll run on 1st down. West. Jonathan Joseph there for the tackle.
3rd quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
On 2nd and 7, Prescott completes it to Jason Witten. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. That one a 1st down pickup of 8. Prescott now a perfect 8 for 8 to start the 2nd half. Not bad. 1st and 10. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. Give him 18 on that one, and it's a Dallas first down.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard.
Get ready, get ready, get ready.
They'll go with Pollard here on first down. And he's going to get this one down inside the 15. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
I got you, boy.
Throwing on 2nd and 3. Prescott, and that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. Looking to throw. Prescott to the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
So they'll turn to the kicker again. He's been a busy man thus far.
A 31-yard attempt.
Marr able to put this one through. And that will get the lead up to 14. So making 4 out of 4 now in the field goal department, and he's able to extend their lead.
When drives are bogged down, he's been automatic out there. So nice to have a kicker you can count on to put points on the board.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And we focus on Lamar Miller as he heads back out there and gets set to go again on offense. And after a sluggish start, he's really bounced back. The numbers bear that out.
And you're a baseball guy, partner. How many at-bats over the course of a baseball season?
Oh, boy, 4 in a game.
Yeah, about 4 in a game.
4 times 162.
350 or so, right? Sometimes it takes a while for a guy to get going. That's my point. It's not the first few carries. You don't worry about that. As they go along, get that guy lathered up, get those blocking assignments down. Those 2-yard gains turn into bigger gains as the game moves along.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Watson now to throw. He's got Fuller. Will Fuller, nobody there to stop him. Touchdown, Houston. Will Fuller, 72 yards, as his guys are back within a single score. The 21st pick back in the 2016 draft, Will Fuller, and we know that he can take the top off of a defense.
He certainly can, and the way that he does it is just straight, pure speed. And I started with one of the better defensive coordinators in the league, and I said, how do you defend that? And he said, at times, you absolutely don't. If the quarterback gets time and he heaves it downfield, Will Fuller's going to outrun any coverage you put out there.
Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And that will shave one more off this lead. That drive started on their own 25. 2 plays, 75 yards later, into the end zone. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. This is taken at his 4. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Now Dak Prescott and the offense heading back onto the field. And the passing game, I mean, look at the numbers. It's fallen off. When a team is struggling, sometimes you look at the quarterback. When the quarterback starts to struggle, who goes over and picks him up?
Yeah, that's always a big one, isn't it? Usually, there's a quarterback whisperer somewhere. And what I mean by that is, whether it's an assistant coach, whether it's one of his best friends on the team, someone that can get in his ear, get with him and say, all right, my man, what do you need? What's going on here? So there's one person he can lean on. He's going to have to lean on that guy right now.
From the 30 on second down, Prescott caught by Cobb. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. That one a gain of 20 and a first down.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
On first down, it's West. Takes to midfield, but no further. Just a yard there.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for third down.
It certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But hands, route running, speed, and some toughness to go across the middle, you put it all together, you got a heck of a tight end candidate.
And this one is right down Broadway. And that will extend their lead even further. So it's not an NFL record, but it's not far off. That'll go in the books as a 61-yard field goal.
And wasn't it weird to see a guy line up for a field goal on the other side of midfield? The ball got halfway there, and you thought, no way is that going to make it, but it just kept carrying and carrying, and he winds up sneaking it right over the bar.
This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone.
Let's go, baby.
And let's shift our attention to Will Fuller. A monster game so far, third quarter. He is lighting up the stat sheet.
And so many times when you see these types of games, you hear about the quarterback, or we talk about the quarterback throwing guys open, putting it in the right spot. How about some credit for the receivers,
Absolutely.
though, who find ways to get open, whether they uncover late in a route or they get open early, but they just always find a way, and he's having that type of a game.
Yeah, he's been nearly impossible to cover. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short. Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. Now Watson. Thomas has got it, complete. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because it should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. A fresh set of downs on a gain of 13 there for the Texans. As we surmise, Charles, most of the starting units still out there for this third quarter. First time this preseason that they played into the second half.
And that's by design. Most of the time by this point of the preseason, you want them to go into the half, cool down, and then come back out and warm up to start the third quarter like you would a regular season game. That's exactly what they wanted to get done.
They'll run with Miller. And after the good gain last play, this time they say, as he's going to be stopped behind the line of scrimmage. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13.
But if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage will be found.
Now on 2nd and 13, Watson setting up the screen for Miller. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. And he's going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys' 31-yard line.
First down, Texans.
And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
This quarterback now over 300 yards now for the game, and time to improve on that as he's got a 1st and 10. And they'll run it from the gun with Miller. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. That's good for a Texan first down, a 12-yard pickup.
This has been an up-and-down, back-and-forth type of a game, hasn't it? Maybe this long drive take a little bit of the wind out of their sails, kind of settle things down a little bit.
Check 55 to Mike. Rip right.
They'll run it here. This is Deontay Foreman. He'll get forward for 3 down to the 16-yard line.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
Let's go, defense. Let's go, defense.
Off of play action, it's Watson. And he will go down. A Cowboys sack. Off the edge, it's Tyrone Crawford with a sack.
But nothing takes a start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Following the sack, it's now 3rd and long for Watson and the Texans. 3rd and long, it's Watson. He's got his tight end, it's Fells. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. It'll be a pickup of 14, but they're still a little bit short as it brings up 4th.
Then we got to give a little tip of the cap for the defense there. Zone coverage, locked it in tight, made it really difficult because they tried the crossing route against it, and it worked for a completion, but you have to know where the sticks are on third down. Didn't get beyond them, no pickup.
He's got 9 points on field goals now. He's made 3 of them. That gets him a bit closer, but there's no question they need to start turning some of these 3s into 6s.
And for him, it's not his concern, right? He just goes out there when they call on him and goes ahead and puts points up on the board. But the offense has got to get together and figure out what's stalling their drives, so they have to keep calling on him.
This one fielded at the 5. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Here now we look at Jason Witten. So after he looked really good early, they haven't been able to find the big tight end as much. What gives?
Well, sometimes that's not in the game plan defensively. They're trying to take away other people, or they weren't expecting him to get off to such a hot start. But now they know he's out there. They've made a few adjustments, surrounded with a few more people, a few different coverages. Let's see if he makes the adjustments now. Does he change up a few things to try and work his way open?
It's Jaleel Adai who brings him down. On 2nd and 7, Prescott. He's got a man. It's his fullback. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6. Trying to run for it with Pollard. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. As they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this third quarter. And that'll do it for the end of the third quarter. You're watching preseason football on EA Sports.
Down. 60 or.
Now they run with a backup. It's Chris Ivory. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. So a loss of 5, and it'll be 2nd down. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
Tight end right.
And here comes throw number 1 for the backup QB. And he almost had it defensively. Could have been a game changer there in this second half. Instead, it's 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. To throw is Rush. He gets it to Brown, complete. And he's going to be taken down with another first down as the stop's made at the Texans' 36.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. Had a little arc on it. He's got to find a way to get his head around and make a play on the football.
So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory at the 36. They go back to the ground attack here. It's Ivory. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. That'll set them back with a loss of 3 on the play. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13.
This offense has had a lot to like in this game. I don't know that last play, though, is going to make the highlight reel.
It's not going to make the highlight reel, but it will be the focus of the film session that the team has to sit through. I've sat through those before. Never any fun. You're always excited about your good plays. And they actually fast forward through those. All right, that was good. All right, great. They get to the bad ones and really eliminate them. Not cool.
Here's a ball thrown right side and complete. And he's going to be taken down with another first down as the stop's made at the Texans' 22-yard line.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
corner. 70, Indy.
Here we go, here we go.
Ready?
On first down, this is Ivory. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. 16 yards, a little deja vu from the previous play where they got 16.
The running game continues to be a big part of their success here early in the fourth quarter.
And with those types of runs, that tells you they feel very confident in their running game. They feel very strong at this stage of the contest, and they want to keep doing exactly what we saw there, running the ball down their throat.
So first and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. It's their quarterback, keeping it himself from 7 yards out. And the Cowboys, they push out in front further. Offensively, pretty effective option play there for the score.
Certainly was, and it appeared to me that the defense overshifted and overplayed the trail back, the pitch man, and almost forgot about the quarterback. In fact, they did forget about the quarterback, and he turned it into a touchdown.
Extra point by Marr, up and good. And the lead now up to 14. A 10-play drive that time. And in the end, it's capped off by a 7-yard run. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This one fielded at the 5. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
Let's go, let's go.
Now the Texans offense, they head back out to do battle here. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. They'll run with Foreman. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. 10 yards there, good enough for a Texan first down.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you.
Now the backup, A.J. McCarron. He gets it to Thomas. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. The end result, 21 yards.
All right, this is the time of the game where they're down a couple of scores, and they've really got to get some yards in chunks, and they know the defense doesn't want to give those up, but they've got to find a way to take them anyway.
Now the question is, can they string a few of those together? Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
Let's go, tackle. Let's go. We got this. We got this.
On the draw, here's Foreman. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays.
Partner, I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job.
And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. Vincent Smith, 31 yards, as his guys are back within a single score.
Big score, first step in their attempt to climb back into this game.
Yes, but still some work to do as they get within a score here. On for the PAT, Kaimi Fairbairn. And that'll cut the lead down now to a touchdown. Just a 4-play drive that time. And the result, a Houston touchdown. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. They have the lead, obviously, late in the game. I guess the good news for them is if for some reason they would make a mistake, a field goal does the opposition no good.
Everyone loves to have a little bit of a cushion, and that helps you immeasurably. But the bottom line is, do all the things that you're taught in order to close out the game. Don't even let that become an issue.
Yeah, but still a one-possession game. This one not fully over yet. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. 2nd and 6, just inside the 30. Off play action. Rush. He'll let it fly for Austin. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down. So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Operating from the gun. Rush. He'll let it fly for Austin. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. Critical play in this football game, because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that if they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
An 8-yard return there after a punt of 47. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
A.J. McCarron looking to throw. And only able to get 2 here. Stopped at the 30.
So many things have to come together just right for a screen pass to break for big yardage. The blocking, the timing of the pass to the runner, everything has to fit together just right. But on that play, the defense was able to disrupt things and hold it to a short game.
Looking for Thomas, but that's intercepted. Picked off by George Iloka. And they'll start with great field position at the 41-yard line.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
Here's the Dallas offense now heading back out onto the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Ivory. They'll fight forward for a couple down inside the 40. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
I think he's taking an awful chance with the football right there. You've got to lead, you've got to protect it, and he's taking chances putting it out there in a little bit of jeopardy.
Especially in a spot like this, 4th quarter, as you said, trying to cling to that advantage.
Yeah, that one probably should have been picked, huh?
All things considered, a pretty good kick, just cruel punishment there to be denied by the crossbar.
If you're going to hit from that distance, sometimes you're going to need a little luck, and unfortunately for him, this time the break goes against him.
A.J. McCarron on his way back out there. And the interception that ended their previous drive, that might be one we look back on and say that was the turning point of this game.
Hey, partner, guess what? There's still time for a few more turning points in this ball game. They're only 1 score down.
Yeah, true. We could have some twists and turns. Stay tuned. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And this one complete to Smith. An ideal beginning of the drive there as they'll get 20 and a first down.
It's a gain of 20. First down, Houston.
McCarron now 4 of 5 since coming on. It's 1st and 10. Shotgun snap for McCarron. They'll let this go for the... And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by George Iloka. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Agreed, that's twice now in this fourth quarter.
As a quarterback, a lot of times you think it's all on you to make plays when you're losing. And here, the play's not there, but he throws it anyway.
And now here come the Cowboys.
On the ready.
51, Mike, 51. Watch the screen, watch the screen. Watch the screen.
They start on the ground with Ivory. And some room to maneuver. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. Give him 18 on that one, and it's a Dallas first down. They had 3 tight ends in on that set, and they were really good at blocking for their running back.
And give them a lot of credit because in football nowadays, tight ends coming out of college often don't block very often. These guys have really developed into superior blockers, and that's why they use them in this formation so often.
From all the way up at the 38 now after a good start to the drive.
Ain't no such thing as a loss. We taking wins home.
A running play now for Ivory. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to second down.
Hey, a lot of points have been scored in this game against them, but tally that one on the side of the defense.
Do you think maybe, possibly, it can be a little bit of a changer for them? Maybe not a game changer, but a little bit of a momentum one that maybe they can string together some pretty good plays and slow them down.
On 2nd and 12, Rush looking and finding Allen Hurns. A gain there of 21 yards. This quarterback now, a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. They'll run with Ivory. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. And now it looks like we've got a Cowboy shaking up down there on the field. Definitely the last thing you want to see here in a preseason game. We'll be right back.
Tight end to the right, boys. Tight end to the right.
On 2nd and 12, Rush. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down. So he can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Well, you know a coach said that, right? Not an actual player. Not a chance at all. Way easier said than done.
Come on, let's go.
Couldn't just sit on it here, could they? Had to throw the ball on 3rd down. Got the big completion in the pickup. Fresh set of downs now. They've got to feel great.
And defensively, a backbreaker.
Let's go. 70, Indy.
I got you, son. I got you, son.
They'll run on first down. Pollard. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
I have zero rooting interest in either team in this game. I only want a good game. But with all the offense we've seen from them tonight, it's kind of nice to see the defense step up and make a big play.
Yeah, I was wondering if they were ever going to get him in the backfield. Nice to see him get a stop.
That loss of 3, a rare stumble on a promising drive. Here's second and 13. From the gun, rush. Got a man, it's Brown. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. That one goes for 24 yards.
They sure put the coverage guys in a stress on that one. They thought they were going deep. Ends up curling inside for a nice chunk of yardage.
So first and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. They'll run with Pollard. And he gets him a little bit closer. He takes it from the 6 inside the 5 to the 4.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game?
Now a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play, 3rd and goal. And he'll be well short of a first down as he stopped again right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, so a big stop, and it's going to leave him with a 4th and goal.
Such a long drive here. 3 points. That would be a disappointment, but I don't know if you can go for it here, can you?
Well, you know, the defense was really giving them a lot all the way downfield, and now they've stiffened. Forget that bend, don't break. Now they don't even want to let them get a yard, do they? So in this spot, you remember what the coaches told us before the ball game? Any drive that ends with a kick is going to be okay with us, whether it's a punt, a field goal, or an extra point. Take the field goal right here.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This will be fielded at the 6. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. And the Texans set to come onto the field. They're looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily what you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. That'll wind up a gain of 27 on the catch and run.
First down.
McCarron now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. Working from the gun here, McCarron. He's got Smith here. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Give him 17 on the pickup there, and the Texans also get a new set of downs.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely. Great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that? Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Vincent Smith, the intended receiver. And it's second down. 2nd and 10 now from the 27. And again, it's McCarron. This is caught. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's third down. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And Thomas has it. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong. You know, you're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle each time you snap the ball.
Oh, how about this on 1st and goal? And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line.
I like the idea from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
So they get pushed back to the 11, and here's 2nd and goal.
Watch the slap. Watch the slap. Watch the slap.
Ready?
To throw, it's McCarron. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Coverage was very good that time. A nice job to smother him as the ball arrived, and that ensured an incomplete pass.
And it keeps 6 points off the board. On 3rd down, Foreman, and he'll fight his way down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive. Well, look at the clock. You're down 2 scores. Have to go for this, don't you?
And they thought that as soon as they took over possession. It didn't matter where they were on the field. They were always going to be in 4-down territory. Backed up, in good situation, it didn't matter. So they've been preparing for that on their play sheet the entire time.
For the field goal, a 26-yard attempt.
The kick by Fairbairn is good. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. All right, so they needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal there, maybe not exactly what they wanted, but the necessary first step.
There's still time remaining, and there's enough time to get it done. They've got to get at the least a 3-and-out here to get the ball back, preferably a takeaway.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The offense for the Cowboys now working their way back onto the field. The field goal we just saw has this now at a 1-score game, and on this side of the football, things are getting pretty tenuous, a little stressful.
Blood pressure up a little bit, you think?
I think up a lot a bit.
Could you imagine taking the pulse right now? It might be like a jackhammer out there on that side of the ball, but here's what the deal is. I think what we've observed is a team that's been playing not to lose as opposed to playing to win. And they've got to get back to that, and that means putting things up again, being a little more free in what they're trying to get done on offense.
It's a gain of 12, and the Cowboys pick up the first. And when do they start thinking about these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. Boy, nowhere to go at all on that first down run as they will get to him behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
At the 36-yard line.
Off the play fake. Rush. Oh, he's able to outmuscle him here as he pulls it in. We've got a 1-score game with inside of 2 minutes remaining. So the Cowboys in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they look to try and finish this one off. On 1st down, Pollard. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get him behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. It's a gain of 12, and the Cowboys pick up the first. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Here's Pollard. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts. as they get the stoppage with just over a minute to go in the game. Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. That one looks like he'll throw here. And this is going to be caught, but they'll say out of bounds. So it's incomplete. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. On 3rd down, it's Pollard. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. That'll set them back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that's going to bring up a 4th down. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in quarter number 4. And his kick is absolutely perfect. And that will extend their lead even further. So it's a drive that ends in 3, and I know that line sounds familiar. It's because I've said it 7 times now, and that leaves him 1 short of the NFL record of 8 field goals in 1 game.
It has been a lot of settling for 3. But I tell you what, it's nice to know that you have someone this reliable to turn to.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This one taken from the 7. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. McCarron and the Texans down by 10. A little over 40 seconds to go. You can't say the preseason isn't interesting. This has been great as they come up 1st and 10. Here's a run on 1st down that won't even get back to the line of scrimmage. He will lose a yard. 2nd and 11. The Texans going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as it'll come with 36 seconds to go in half number 2. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. To throw is McCarron. To the right side and complete to Thomas. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. They get 14 on that one. Good for a Houston 1st down. This is Foreman, draw play. And they'll get this just to the 47. 1 yard. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.